It's another Empties video. I may or may not be getting hyped to film by listening to Fall Out Boy, so also I'm going to pretend I dress like a human being. Shh, Fall Out Boy, shh. I'm talking. I'm gonna get copyrighted now. I wear one of these big hoodie blankets constantly in the winter. They are incredible, but I'm gonna pretend I'm slightly more dressed and put on a cardigan. And I'll turn off Fall Out Boy before I risk getting copyrighted. Leave me your favorite Fall Out Boy song in the comments, I'm curious. Okay, is this a look or is this just ridiculous? I mean, it's cozy, I guess. Just kind of my vibe. Hello everybody, I have poured myself a cup of ambition. This is a gift from a friend of mine. I'm kind of embarking on a new chapter in my life, so she thought it was fitting. So thank you, you know who you are. So this is my first video of the new year, so I figured a cup of ambition is appropriate. It's got a really big handle on it though, kind of like a builder's mug. Yum yum. This is an Empties video, so I've been collecting all of my empty containers, tubes, packaging, everything for the last 6 months, and I've got it all here to show off what I've used. There's gonna be a lot of familiar favorites in here, but there are some new exciting things, so this is definitely worth a watch, so make sure to stay tuned. What I've done in the past when it comes to Empties videos is I've actually categorized the things themselves into like skincare, hair care, all those kinds of things. I'm gonna try something different today. Instead of doing categories, I'm actually gonna do rankings. So we're gonna work from like lowest rated up to highest rated. We'll see how that goes. So let me know which format you like better. I'm kind of enjoying this one so far because it makes me actually think about the product before I sit down in front of the camera, which normally I just wing it and improvise. And I kind of like that because it gets an honest perspective on the item, but also then sometimes I'm like floundering for something to say about it. So this has given me an opportunity to kind of look through and see what I think about each thing, so I'm not caught by surprise. I've given them all rankings out of 5. I actually didn't have any 1-star rankings, so that's good. So we're going to jump right into 2-star rankings. So first up, I have a Body Shop strawberry shampoo. I have had this the longest time. I actually forgot I had it, and then I had to finish it off, but it's not great. It's fine, but it's not particularly high quality, so it kind of dries out your hair a little bit and your scalp, and if you're sensitive in that way, which I am, this isn't going to be for you. It's great for like your makeup brushes, say, which is, you know, if I get a shampoo I don't like, I actually just start using it on my makeup brushes. But yeah, it's not even worth buying it just for your makeup brushes because it is quite pricey. It smells fantastic, which is what draws a lot of people in, but it's just not particularly good quality, so that's only a 2-star. I've used worse, so that's why it's not a 1. Next up is, surprisingly, a Molten Brown product. I love Molten Brown, so this is kind of a bit weird to rank something so low. This is their conditioner. It's just a little miniature I got in a miniature set. I didn't specifically buy their conditioner for any reason, but I was not impressed. It was small enough that I was happy enough to just use it up, but it's got like a lemon zest kind of scent, which is pretty cool, but it does absolutely nothing for your hair. It's like, kind of feels like you're not even using conditioner, you know, it doesn't actually contribute to the condition or moisture of your hair, so that's a 2-star. Again, I've used worse, so I'm not going to give it a 1, but I definitely wouldn't buy it again. I've also got a Trilogy makeup remover. It's the cleansing balm. I wasn't crazy about this. I'm not crazy about Trilogy as a brand in general. A lot of people rave about it, so I tried quite a few bits from them, but none of them really hit the mark for me. This one was a very heavy balm, so it's one of those ones that comes in kind of like a solid form and you massage it onto your skin and it melts down and removes your makeup and you're good to go. I didn't care for it. It was very oily and my skin felt a bit oily after using it. Not particularly in a dirty way, but it just felt like there was still product residue on there, which if you've got very dry skin is probably great for you. But I have oily skin, so that was completely unnecessary. And it was a little stingy in the eyes as well, so not great. Definitely wouldn't buy it again. And last up, I have a just little sample from Glossier. When I made an order, I was able to add a free sample. I chose the Future Dew Oil Serum Hybrid. I did not care for this. Again, wasn't the worst thing I've ever put on my face, but I certainly wouldn't be seeking it out again. I'm glad I didn't have to pay for it. I'm glad it was a free sample. It was just kind of heavy and weird and left me very shiny, which part of it is supposed to be kind of a radiant, dewy finish, but it was just like, shine. Wouldn't get this again. I really do feel like I'm a granny or something in this. This is hilarious. I'm not mad about it. It's very comfy and it's very cozy. Okay, so on to 3 stars. A few more bits here. I've got a Pixie Rose Tonic. I've been using this for ages because, again, it was one of those really hyped products. I don't really feel like it was worth the hype. It was fine, just like very middle. It wasn't bad. It wasn't particularly amazing. It's a little bit pricey, so kind of not worth it if it's not going to be a particularly enjoyable product, but just very middling. I got a Nux. Is that how you pronounce that brand? Never actually heard anyone say it out loud, so I'm just going to say Nux. I think somebody just gave it to me. They just got it and didn't want it. Actually, I wouldn't usually go for this brand because they're not cruelty free, as far as I'm aware, last time I checked anyway. So definitely not one that I would seek out when I can get alternatives very easily. It was a grand scrub, nothing special about it. It did the job. It wasn't too abrasive or too rough. It was totally fine. The end. Very similar sentiment for one of these hand creams. I think I actually included one in my previous Empties video. It was just a gift set of hand creams and they're all the same. So if you've watched that last one, you'll know my feelings on these. Again, just completely very middling, nothing to write home about. Very generic hand cream scent, so not even anything particularly surprising there. It was moisturizing. It didn't change my life. It was just fine. And the last of my 3 stars. This is another slightly disappointing one to include because I've got some Wild cartridges. Now I love Wild as a brand, as a product in general. They're great, but sometimes there's ones that just aren't really perfect. So I got a limited edition Cherry Blossom. I was hesitant to buy it because it was described as having almond notes, and I'm not really a fan of almond, but I thought, oh, you know what, maybe it won't be strong, maybe it'll just be like kind of in there and it'll be more Cherry Blossom. It was very almond forward as far as my nose was concerned, so it really wasn't for me, didn't care for it. But again, happy to use it, good product, just was, you know, ready to move on to the next scent when I was done with it. And then these two are the same. It was another limited edition. It was during the summer. They did Tropical Sorbet, which sounded right up my alley. It was all tropical fruits and like fresh and oh, yummy, but didn't really like it. There wasn't anything particularly great about it, and I didn't feel like the scent lasted very well. I bought 2 because it was one of those things I was like, oh, I'm gonna love this, I better buy 2 because it's a limited edition. So then I had to go through 2 of them. I feel like there was almost a little bit of an alcohol kind of smell off them, but it's just, it didn't do anything for me, didn't love it, wouldn't buy it again if it came back around, and was a bit bummed that I had to go through 2. I'm gonna move a little closer to you. I feel like I'm really far away. All right, there we go. That's a bit friendlier, isn't it? Yeah, up close and personal now. So on to 4 stars. I've got a lot more 4 stars. So I feel like I'm going through this really quickly, but it's just because I don't have many products that I didn't really like. So it's been a good 6 months. All right, where to start? Let's start with this one sticking out here. So Lush Good Karma Shower Gel. Love it, really good. Beautiful smell. It's kind of citrusy, but also a bit spicy. What is actually in it? Patchouli and orange oil. So like, just very kind of spa-like and fresh, and it's described as heady, which I would agree with. Very nice, good quality product. I like it, would recommend it. I'll do another shower gel next. I've got 3 of these ones, so you can tell I like it. It's the Original Source, creamy vanilla and raspberry. This is really nice. I feel like I go through it maybe a little too quickly, but it's a very inexpensive product, so I don't mind at all. And it's good quality, cruelty-free, and it just has this gorgeous like raspberry ripple ice cream kind of smell to it. It's not too sickly sweet or anything like that. I would have thought it would have been, but it's actually quite fruity and creamy, and it's not like, it's not a gross artificial smell that just like lingers. It's very, very nice, and I would definitely recommend. They have so many other different scents in this brand as well, so if this isn't up your alley, you'll probably find something else you like. I would definitely recommend checking out this brand. They're so worth the €2 or €3 it costs. It's so, so good. I guess while I'm on soaps and body washes and stuff, Faith in Nature is another really good, inexpensive, cruelty-free, good quality brand. I have a aloe vera soap, and I've got grapefruit soap. I liked them both. Probably preferred the grapefruit scent, but both very good. Very light and natural and fresh scents. Good quality soap, not drying, and they're good like chunky bars, so you actually get plenty of use out of them as well. So inexpensive and worth every penny. I've got a Wild soap. I hadn't tried their soap. I was obviously a big fan of their deodorant for probably about 2 years now, and never got around to trying their soap. So I decided, why not? Let's place an order, and I got their trio, so one of each. Coconut and vanilla was definitely my least favorite out of them, even though I love the deodorant. It just didn't really have the same scent. It was kind of weaker. Not that this is a huge factor either, but the bar was brown, and I just felt like it was a little bit gross to look at, which is such a small minor detail, but you know, I don't know why it had to be brown. It was just a little bit unsightly. So loses a couple of points, but great soap in general. So 4 stars I think is fair. I have a face wash in here, Glossier Milky Jelly Cleanser. This has come up a bit before, so I am a fan of this product. I don't feel like it's worth the hype that it gets. That being said, it is still a very good face wash. It's very gentle, very mild, very just simple and straightforward, and it smells really good. So, I mean, maybe it's just kind of hyped because it's so basic. I mean, if Glossier is available to you, I'd recommend checking it out, because you get a good while out of a bottle like this. It comes in multiple different sizes as well, and it's very easy to like refill a bottle or buy a miniature and bring that away with you if you're going on holidays. So it's definitely a product that is worth checking out, but it's not like a ride or die for me. Got a little Body Shop hand cream. It's all scrunched up because I get every last ounce of a product out of the packaging before I get rid of it. So it was one of their Christmas ones. It's limited line, so it's not around, but it's the Wild Pine. This was absolutely gorgeous. I was really surprised. I didn't actually think I'd love it. I bought like a spiced orange one at the same time. I think that's in my last Empties video. Did not like that at all, and that's usually absolutely my vibe, but much preferred this one. It's pine, mint and sandalwood, so very like fresh and cool kind of smell. You can really smell the mint. The mint really comes through, which is actually quite interesting. feel like you don't see many mint hand creams. I would definitely get this again if it came back around, because there's just something so like fresh and cool about it, and it's a bit unique. So, oh my god, Marilyn fell over. Oh my god. She doesn't usually live here. I actually just bring her in for something to have in the background when I film. I normally have a bunch of junk up on here on my little chest of drawers there. It's kind of like a mini dressing table for me, and I put like my deodorants and my hairsprays and everything up there. So when I film, I clear all that away and pretend I have this lovely aesthetic setup with a black and white picture of Marilyn. We're just hanging out. I think this is just a hanging out kind of video. Back to the products. Okay, let's see. Let's do Too Faced Hangover Setting Spray. It's described as 3-in-1, so you can prime, set, and refresh your skin with it apparently. I only ever used it as a setting spray. It's coconutty. There's coconut water in there, and you can definitely smell the coconut. So if you're very against that smell, you're not gonna like this. One of the better setting sprays I've used. It does the job, which is what you want. It is a little bit pricey though. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's in and around €30. I haven't repurchased it after this one ran out because I just wanted to try a different one and maybe see if I could get a similar quality at a lower price point. So it has not been repurchased, but it is a good product. And if you're looking to treat yourself or test out some of the Too Faced line, this is a good product to include. I have an Elf makeup remover, and I've actually kind of been getting back into Elf a little bit. When I first started hearing about them, I tried a few things out and was quite happy, and then I just stopped buying them. I think I just got a little bit bougie and decided that I wanted to splurge more on those things, which is all very well and good, but I am fun employed right now and money is definitely a priority for me. So this one's definitely a lot more budget friendly than a lot of other ones out there, and it's so good. It's not even, you don't feel like it's budget friendly, you know, it's not cheap, and you get tons of it as well. Comes with this little scoopy thing, which is great. So you don't have to stick your fingers in, you can just scoop it because it is quite a solid product until you melt it down. It stops it getting all up your nails and your fingers making a mess in there. Quite neat. Nice little touch to have that. I can't remember exactly how much this is. I will pop it on the screen. I'll look it up and I'll pop it on the screen. But it's definitely worth every single cent because it is inexpensive, as I said. You get plenty of it and it does a great job. You don't need a whole lot. Like, that's the great thing about these makeup removing balms, is that you actually don't really need an awful lot anyway. You generally should always double cleanse when you're taking off makeup just to really get it all off. But these tend to do a very good job with a sparing amount. It is specifically the Holy Hydration Makeup Melting Cleansing Balm. And there's hyaluronic acid, ceramides, and peptides. Does what you need it to do, leaves your skin feeling clean and refreshed, but also cared for and hydrated. And it is fairly gentle on the eyes. I find a lot of these tend to cause a little bit of irritation in the eye. I think you're technically not supposed to use them in your eyes, but like, I'm not going to buy a separate one for just my eyes. These all have to stand the test of, are they okay on your eyes? And this one does. It's fine. Again, you're not going to want to get it like in there. It's a little thinner than some other ones, so it can kind of find its way in a bit easier than you might expect. So just bear that in mind. Try to keep it out of your eyes. You'll be fine. I have Body Shop Spiced Orange Body Yogurt. Now, I know I mentioned their hand cream of the spiced orange a minute ago and how much I didn't care for it. The body yogurt was a completely different story. It was so weird. I don't know what ingredients they used or didn't use to make one better than the other, but I love the body yogurts. They're such a great consistency. They're not too heavy. They don't leave your skin feeling like sticky or oily or anything like that. They absorb nice and quickly, and the scent in them actually has some really good staying power. So you can tend to smell them on your skin for a while, which is great. I really like that. And especially this one, oh my God. Spiced Orange is absolutely one of my favorite winter scents. So good. Really love it. Again, limited line, so not much point in me recommending, but if it comes back around, check it out. Avoid the hand cream because that's very clove forward and it reminded me way too much of a baked ham, which Don't get me wrong, I love a big tan. I just don't want to smell like one. This one is definitely more orange forward, so you just get kind of like the notes of the clove, but it's more orange. I've got an Eco Warrior shaving bar. I actually don't really know this brand very well. I feel like this is the only product I've seen from them. A lot of us get very sensitive skin when we shave, and I was just sick of it and I was looking for anything good. Now, since I started buying this, I don't know, is this TMI or is this what you come here for? I actually don't really shave very much anymore because I usually get a wax. So I only need to use this for my underarms. Therefore, a giant big bar like this lasts me forever. So this is where the hack comes in. First bar of this that I used, I just put the whole bar right out into my shower, and like that, it took absolutely forever to get through the whole thing. And I lost a lot of it because it got all dried out. So what I do now is I get the bar and I chop it with the sharp knife. Be careful. So I chop it into maybe like 4 or 5 pieces, whatever you can manage. You'll get like little bits that shave off when you chop, so you don't want to chop it too small or it'll just all be dust. But if you chop it into kind of 4 or 5 pieces with a good sharp knife, and just take one piece into the shower until it's used and get the next one, you're going to preserve your product so much longer and really get all that money's worth, because we all need it. We all need to get our money's worth. And also, let's just not waste products as well. I mean, I don't know why you'd like knowingly and willingly just waste a product. So there's your hack. If you're going to get this, chop it. It is definitely a really good product to shave with. Like I said, I don't use it on like larger areas of my body anymore. Like I don't shave my legs anymore. So I can't speak recently to my experience with it, but anytime I used to, it was definitely a lot more of a comfortable experience than using like shaving foam or conditioner or anything like that. Far less wasteful than using conditioner as well. They specify that it's for boys and girls, but I mean every product pretty much is unisex really anyway. It leaves a nice smooth layer over your skin that you can just easily shave over and have a much more comfortable experience. I just find shaving foam is kind of gross anyway. Like, I'm so over it. And it's really hard to get a cruelty-free one as well. When I first started doing the change to cruelty-free, I just couldn't find them. So that's when I started looking outside the box. Anyway, I think I've talked about this on my channel before. It's the Inky List Salicylic Acid Exfoliating Scalp Treatment. So it's in this little twisty top bottle, and you just like run it in your scalp like that and massage it in and leave it for about 10 minutes and then wash your hair. And it just kind of helps to break down oils, build up, skin flakes, everything that's like in your scalp that you don't always realize is in your scalp. You gotta break all that down. So I use this once a week. I really, really like it. It's maybe slightly pricier than I would like. It's in and around €20, I believe. But it lasts a while. If you're only going to use it once a week or something, you know, you're going to get some time out of it. But I think I'd like to see it be a tiny bit more effective and a tiny bit less expensive. Got another Wild. I've gone through so much Wild in the last 6 months. Like, I don't usually have this many Empties. So I don't know what's going on. Am I just really sweaty? Or it's a weird thing to say on the internet, isn't it? Anyway, this one was one of their Christmas limited scents. It's the Prosecco and Red Berries. Love it. So, so good. You don't really smell the Prosecco in there. It kind of gives a little fresh top note, but it's not a very noticeable smell. If you didn't tell me it was in there, I don't think I would have picked it out. But the red berry smell is very forward and it's lovely, and I love that smell around winter and Christmas. It's just something so delicious about it, really is the only way to describe it. Not literally, I'm not eating this. I just want that to be on the record. Don't eat Wild deodorant, but it's a delicious smell. And it's fruity and it's juicy and it's really, really nice. Now, the reason this is in the 4-star bin and not the 5-star bin is I don't feel like it did a great job. There are some of the wild scents I find I can smell them throughout the day and they last on my skin. This one didn't. I felt like I needed to top this one up a bit throughout the day, which is unusual for wild. So it lost a point there. It's not a 5-star for that reason, but that reason alone, as far as it's concerned for the rest of it, really, really good. Loved it. I've got a perfume. I don't usually have perfumes in these because it takes me forever to get through a perfume. This is the Chanel. Can we get a nice focused look on that? Chanel Eau Fraiche. And I loved it. It's the green one, if anybody is wondering. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous smell. It's very just like suitable for everything. If you're not into like a strong or musky or rich kind of perfume, this is fantastic. It's almost kind of, I'm not going to say natural because like it's perfume. Obviously it's not a natural smell to begin with, but there's something about it that just makes me feel like you don't smell of perfume, you just smell nice, you know? Now, it's in the 4-star bin because Chanel is not cruelty free. So it would probably get a 5-star from me because I've used this perfume for a very long time. This is maybe my 2nd or 3rd bottle of it in my adult life, I guess. And I'm not like a huge perfume wearer. I'm trying to get more into it because, you know, it just feels nice. It feels kind of luxurious to have perfume on. But I would tend to get a while out of one of these bottles because I don't use it a whole lot, and I feel like 2 sprays of perfume is usually enough. And with this one, it, you know, it does last. It's got staying power, so don't tend to need to top it up. That being said, if there's anything left in that spray, I'm gonna just, oh, there is. There's a tiny little absolutely beautiful, but like that, not cruelty free, so loses a point. So, last thing in my 4-star category, and again, the reason it's in the 4-star, not the 5-star, is unfortunately it's not cruelty free. I usually don't like to talk about things that aren't cruelty free on here because for the most part I very much strive for cruelty free, but I just, like, there are things that I just can't get a 100% success rate on. So it's one of those things that is, as far as I'm concerned, if I can do my best with it and I can do, you know, 90%, then I don't mind using the 10%, but I will always aim for 100. So, slight backstory. If you've watched my previous video, you'll know kind of towards the end of last year, I left my job, which was a very liberating experience. I'd been having a horrible time in there and I just felt like I wasn't being true to myself. I didn't feel like I was living my own authentic life in there. Sounds really hippy dippy, I know, but it just felt really good to be out of there. And it was like that trope in a rom-com where if you know, go through a breakup and you change your hair. I decided I wanted to dye my hair. I wanted to put a little color wash through it. So I tried one brand first and it didn't really work. There is a video on my channel of that as well, so I can put that in there as well for you to watch later if you haven't already. That one didn't work, but I had seen the Schwarzkopf Elive. Now it's a semi-permanent, which is what I wanted. I just wanted to have something that would kind of put a little bit of a wash of a bright color through my hair, just for me to feel a bit, you know, just free. It's just like a freeing feel. So I tried this one out because they've got this great little color chart on the back that will show you what it will look like depending on what your hair color is. Now, a lot of these kinds of colors don't work on brown hair unless you dye your hair or unless you bleach your hair first, which I wasn't willing to do. I didn't want to do that. So the fact that this one would work on brown hair, it kind of gives it more of a like purple, violet, I guess. That's not really violet, is it? Anyway, I figured, look, it'll do something to my hair. So I started by buying one and I used it and I definitely saw results. It was fantastic. It wasn't hugely noticeable. I could see it. I have a lot of like kind of natural highlights in my hair. I have a lot of light colors going through my hair, and I also have a lot of really, really dark and like thick hairs in there as well. It's a very strange mix. But on the lighter colors and thinner hairs, it was picking it up, and it was picking it up at the ends of my hair. I can still see it in some lights. I don't think it's going to show up on camera, but it is still kind of in my hair. And I loved it. It was so, so good. Now, it recommends using 2 packs if you've got long or thick hair, which I have both. But I didn't want to use 2 just until I kind of tested it. So I tested it with the 1, loved it, and then like a week later, I decided I'd get 2, and I put the 2 in. So I had like such a good payoff out of it, and I could really see the pink. Like I definitely put pink in my hair. Felt great, and I loved it, and actually loads of other people loved it as well, which is always a great sign when you get those compliments on it. So I think I'll definitely be doing that again. Inexpensive, so that's fantastic. Very easy to use. Bit of a weird smell, don't love the smell. That's actually another reason why it's not 5 stars. But ultimately, like, really, really good product. So if they can maybe sort out the smell and get themselves to be cruelty free, 5 stars all the way. Love it. So a new category I started doing, I think only in the last video I did for Empties, was can't be bothered to finish, which is exactly what it sounds like. Just products that are so just unlikable to me that I couldn't even finish them up and give them a 1-star rating. Like I'm done using them. So first one on the list here, I've got a Bess Harding body lotion. It's the sweet mandarin and grapefruit. This came in a gift set. I actually have the body washes included in a previous Empties video, probably the last one, can't remember, but they were fine. Wasn't crazy about them, but the body lotion, ugh, God, I hate it so much. Because the smell is just so cloying and horrible. It's so artificial. And then what the fuck is this? Why would a body lotion have this kind of dispenser? Like there's no pump, there's no like little flicky top thing that you can squeeze it out. I don't understand why. It's really hard to get out. I was hanging on to it just to have one in reserve, but I'm sick of looking at it, so I'm getting rid of it. And this other thing I have is actually probably going to be a bit of an unpopular opinion. So I had been hearing lots about the Glossier You perfume, and I thought, hey, I want to try that. Oh boy, was I wrong. I barely scratched the surface of this. It's not even half used. I did not care for it at all. I had to use about 8 to 10 sprays of it to actually feel like I could smell it, which is not good considering I can use like Chanel or YSL or Molten Brown in anywhere between 1 and 3 sprays and actually feel the smell is there. But this is like, I had to douse myself in it. And even at that, I still wouldn't smell it like halfway through the day. It would still have worn off by then. Why? Why do that? That's ridiculous. And then also, which is weird when you first spray it, there's like an alcohol smell. Oh, it's in my mouth. See, like it actually smells quite nice. There is a weird alcohol smell at first. And then you can actually smell the perfume, which smells quite good. It's not my usual preference when it comes to perfume because it's kind of musky, but it's just, I don't know, it's kind of just smells a bit generic. And then the smell wears off and you have to use far too much of it and it's just not worth it. Again, it was one of those things I was like, fine, I'll just use it up. If I have to use 10 sprays of it every time I put it on, at least I'll get through it pretty quickly. But I wasn't getting through it quickly enough, and I was sick of looking at it, so wouldn't repurchase it. Don't understand what the hype is. Don't get why people love it so much. The whole idea is I think it says something about it only being like either base notes or top notes, I can't remember, because they want it to smell like you. So the whole idea of perfume, body lotions, all those kinds of things, smelling different on different people, it's one of those things that's like, oh, it's a fully unique scent because we only use either base or top notes, whichever one it was, so that your own natural scent molds with the perfume and creates this unique scent. I don't know, it just kind of sounds a bit like not a scam, but like a gimmick. It sounds like a gimmick. So look, I gave it its fair shot, didn't impress me, so it's gone. 5 stars, let's do this. Okay, I'm so excited. All right. Like I said earlier, you might recognize some of these if you've been with me before. You might see some favorites in here. We've got 2 Elive shampoos. Favorite, love it, really gentle, unfragranced, fantastic for if you've got any eczema or psoriasis or anything like that. Really, really, really good. I do have eczema on my scalp and I had struggled with it for the longest time. And this shampoo is such a game changer. It cleans your scalp. It actually does clean your scalp, and it's very gentle and very caring. It's very inexpensive. I can't remember exactly what it goes for nowadays. I'll pop it on screen. About a tenner, somewhere in and around a tenner. You'd expect something like this to be more like 20 or 25. So thankfully it's still very affordable and it works. I've got 2 wild soaps. So these are the other 2 out of the 3-pack that I bought. Prefer them a little bit to the coconut and vanilla one. So we've got a jasmine and mandarin blossom, which is definitely one of my favorite scents that Wild do. And the fresh cotton and sea salt. Both were lovely. This one doesn't have like a particularly strong scent. It's quite like subtle, which is very nice. This one is very floral and delicate and just yummy. They actually match the color of their packaging, the soap itself. So this one is a pink bar and this one is a blue bar. And like I was saying with the other one, part of the reason it lost points was aesthetics. So these ones definitely earned points for aesthetics. But great soaps, really nice to use, not drying. You get plenty of time out of them because they are quite big. Does it say how? They're 100 grams, so you know, it's a good big bar of soap and very pleasant to use. I would absolutely repurchase these. Don't think they're particularly expensive either, I can't remember, but kind of on par with the rest of Wild, that it's maybe a little bit more than you'd pay for other things, but also quite reasonable. This one's sticking out, so JVN Conditioner, woo! Love JVN. Haven't tried a whole lot of the line, to be honest. I want to try more, I actually probably should. Maybe I'll do a video out of it. This is the Embody line, so it's the volumizing one, and I don't particularly need help with volume with all this hair, but it's a very lightweight conditioner, which is what drew my attention to it. So it gives your hair that lift and that fullness without weighing it down, which is incredible. I actually use it quite sparingly, probably less than what is the recommended amount. But again, I have thick hair to begin with, and it is in pretty good condition because, you know, I'm not constantly heat styling it or bleaching it or anything like that. So I tend to get away with using it sparingly, and it's got a beautiful like apple kind of smell. It reminds me of, does anybody remember, I think it's called Alberto Balsam or something like that. Oh my god, those shampoos and conditioners were like all the rage. God, like 15 or 20 years ago. I remember using them as a kid. They had an apple line that I loved, that just was such a gorgeous apple smell. It kind of reminds me of that. Probably like significantly higher quality, but it's a beautiful, beautiful scent, beautiful quality conditioner. Absolutely like fully cares for your hair. And the pump bottle is actually a really nice touch. It's one of those things I never really thought I'd need until I started using it, and it's so handy. Also, if I do a video on JVN products, let me know down below if that's something you'd watch. I'm probably still gonna do it anyway, but like, just let me know. Let me know if I want to, you know, if I should prioritize it or if it's something I can put on the back burner. Because if it's something you want, I'll prioritize it. I'll take care of it sooner rather than later. Also for hair, Way. I love Way. Way is such a beautiful brand. It's a little bit expensive. So bear that in mind when I bought this. I bought this actually ages ago because I really made it last. But when I bought it, it was €28. I'd say it's gone up to over 30 easily by now. But it smells so fantastic and is such a beautiful leave-in conditioner. So nice. Lightweight, you don't need a whole lot of it, and your hair just feels so fantastically smooth after using it, and it's great to use before you style your hair. It'll help protect it from the heat, and I definitely recommend this. I just have another one on the go at the moment, which is why I haven't repurchased it, but it is one that I would absolutely repurchase. Not one, not two, but 3 Inky List salicylic acid face washes. Again, you've heard me rave about these. These are fantastic. They're fantastic if you've got oily skin, skin prone to breakouts, anything like that. It really helps to keep it nice and clean and fresh, and it won't stop your breakouts. I always feel the need to say this. It's not going to stop you from getting spots. It's not going to stop you from getting blackheads. It's not going to just completely remove the oil from your skin. Your skin type is your skin type, but when you use a product that's designed for that skin type, by a good brand who knows what they're doing, like the Inky List, it's going to keep it under control. It's going to be so much more manageable. I very rarely get breakouts when I use this. And if I do, they're not particularly big, nasty breakouts. And oftentimes I can attribute them to maybe what my diet is at the time because I eat a lot of junk. So sometimes if I'm having a breakout, I can trace it back to all the junk food I ate. So these are really, really good. These are a great treatment for your skin. They're so gentle. Your skin does not feel stripped or irritated at all. Gentle enough to use twice a day, gentle enough to use around the eye area. Again, be careful, don't put it in your eyes, but it's absolutely fine to be around that area. It's not going to cause you any stinging, certainly not in my experience anyway. So would really recommend, and not too expensive, always a bonus. Let's do more Inky List. Vitamin B, C, and E moisturizer. This is cut open because I said in my last Empties video, cut open products like this because there's always so much built up around the edges. So you will get like at least probably another week out of your products if you cut open the top, because it all just like, I never cut it all the way through because I like to be able to kind of close it back over to stop it drying out, but it makes it very awkward to demonstrate. So like up in here in the very top part, you're gonna get like so much in there, and then down like along the walls of the product as well, so much. You will usually get like a week out of a product once I cut it open and get the insides. Yeah, you definitely could cut it more than I do. I just, like I say, I like to be able to keep it as closed as possible so that it doesn't dry out, and then also intact so I can put it in my Empties videos. It's a very good moisturizer. I'm thrilled with it. It's inexpensive, great quality. You can use it morning or evening. I haven't actually repurchased it because I'm just using one that I like a little bit more, but like literally no faults with it. It's brilliant. Speaking of the moisturizer I like a bit more, we've got 3 of it. So I've got the night cream, but I've also got the day cream. So it's the Boots All Bright. There you go, Botanics. It's like a Boots brand. It's the All Bright. I've got the day cream with SPF 15, and I've got the night cream. And I love them. They're so good. I've been using them for years. I only more recently got into the night cream just because obviously I can't use the day cream at night because there's SPF, and you don't sleep with SPF on your skin. It's bad for it. Don't do that. I've got both sets, and as you can see, I'm quite a fan. They're very easy to get your hands on. They're very inexpensive. There's plenty of product in them, and they really do the job. They're lovely and moisturizing. They're very lightweight. You don't feel oily or greasy or weird when you have them on. The SPF doesn't really leave a white cast on your skin, which is great, and it absorbs in nicely so it doesn't feel kind of gross like SPF can on your face. Let's be real. Nobody likes that. And also they smell beautiful. They smell floral. They've got like a, I think they're, yeah, hibiscus. I don't know. I don't know my plants. I don't really know flowers and plants, so I couldn't tell you if I've ever even seen a hibiscus in real life, let alone smelled one. But I'm going to attribute the beautiful floral scent to the hibiscus elements in this. And I would recommend if you've got a Boots near you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have got mascara, Smashbox Superfan Mascara, which I can no longer get, unfortunately, because apparently they don't sell in Ireland and the UK anymore. But this is a favourite mascara of mine. I've raved about it on here before. There's the wand if you're interested. It does a really good job. It gets your eyelashes looking absolutely fierce. So good. Lasts really well, doesn't flake, doesn't smudge. Very much like middle in the price range, not like exorbitant, but definitely not budget friendly either. So bear that in mind. If you're in a country that sells Smashbox, you should absolutely try it out. It's a favorite of mine. I had the very sad job of trying to find a new mascara that I liked once I could no longer get my hands on this. I did a good job with it though, so we'll see when that shows up in Empties videos and I'll be able to tell you all about that one. But this one is very good too, so if you can get it, I would recommend it. Burt's Bees Cuticle Cream, a favorite of mine. Can't seem to get it anymore. Don't know why. Doesn't look like it's been discontinued. It's still on the Burt's Bees website, but it's an American website, so either I wouldn't be able to get it shipped over here or it would cost me a lot. But I can't get it anywhere here. Like I usually can get it very easily through Boots, but I haven't been able to. I'm not sure what's going on, but it is a product I absolutely adore, and I would have considered it to be one that I can't live without unless I'm forced to, like now when I can't buy it. It's a lemon butter cuticle cream, so it's got a gorgeous scent. It does everything you want it to do. It keeps your cuticles and your nails in fantastic shape, and if you use it every day they tend to stay nice and strong and healthy, and minimizes breakages and chips and everything like that. And it lasts forever because it's a solid, so it comes very similar to like a tin of Vaseline, just a little tin there, and it's a solid product all the way up to the top, so you get so long out of it, which is great because it's not expensive. It's less than €10, but I can't tell you exactly how much. I believe I normally have paid about kind of €5 for it, maybe 5 or 6. So worth it to have in your routine. I would put it on at night before I go to bed, just to keep my nails looking really well, especially after you've had shellac on, or in the winter in the cold weather when your nails are just that bit more exposed and weak. You want this. I want this. I can't get it anymore. More Inky List. This time is the Caffeine Eye Cream. I'm giving it a 5-star because I really like it, but at the same time it's kind of just an eye cream. There's nothing particularly special about it. It does the job. It makes your eyes feel nice and moisturized. I don't know that I'm at an age where I can tell from like an anti-aging perspective if it's a big help, but it's definitely a nice product to use, and it's great that, you know, you can feel like your eyes are getting the hydration that they need without being caked in oil or anything. It's not the only eye cream they do. They have, I think, 2 other types. This is the only one I've ever tried, so I can't comment on the other ones, but I'm enjoying this and I do regularly repurchase it and I use it every day. I have 2 5-star wilds. So I have a chocolate fondue, which was a limited edition they brought out around Valentine's Day, and I think it just didn't really sell because they still had it months later, which is kind of unusual for a limited line. I don't understand why, because it's absolutely beautiful. I was hesitant. I didn't want to buy it when it first came out because chocolate in beauty products can go one of 2 ways. You know, it can either be really lovely or disgusting. So, you know, you're kind of hesitant. It's more often disgusting. So I was definitely reserved, but after a while I was like, look, why not treat myself? I love chocolate. If you don't know that about me, I'm an absolute chocoholic. So I figured, look, I'll give it a try. There's actually still some in here, kind of like built up in there, but it means I get to still smell it. It kind of reminds me, of like kids' birthday parties. So I used to work in children's entertainment for a little stint, and like where we had kind of our dressing rooms and our staging areas and stuff just smelled like this. So it kind of brings back fond memories, and it's just a gorgeous scent as well. I loved it. I could smell it on my skin all day long, and it's not overpowering or sickly sweet or just gross. It's actually just a really, really nice product, and I really hope they bring it back because I want more. And I've got a jasmine and mandarin blossom as well, which is my favorite, and this is either my second or third time using it. I love it so much. I first used it when I went to Disney World, so every time since, it gives me like a nice flashback to Disney World. So scent association is really, really powerful. I love it. Regularly will repurchase this one. I think this is definitely my favorite of their standard line. Between this and the coconut and vanilla in their standard line, I think they're my two favorites. Okay, so we are going to finish this out with just one big run through of one brand in particular, which is a favorite of mine and has been showing up in my routine a lot more regularly in the last year or two, because I've decided, why not? I should just do it. So I have a Molten Brown body lotion. It is from the Mandarin and Clary Sage line, which is in their shampoo and conditioners, but I haven't been able to find the body lotion of it. I don't know, was it just maybe a limited thing? Was it like an end of line thing? Because this is just from a miniatures set that I got, like I mentioned earlier. So it's not one that they sell full size anymore. Just devastating, because oh my god, it smells so good, and it's Molten Brown, so like really fantastic, good quality moisturizer. And surprisingly, this little bottle actually lasted me a while. I kind of expected to go through this in 1 or 2 uses. Definitely got at least 3 or 4 out of it, if not more. You don't need an awful lot of Molten Brown for it to be effective, which is great. I do really like that about them. This is beautiful. So if this ever comes up, I'll probably try and get it in full size. Otherwise, it was good while it lasted. Got one of their little tiny perfumes. This, I think, just was a free gift with purchase. It is in the Delicious Rhubarb and Rose, which is another Disney World scent association for me. I can't tell you why, because I didn't use this when I was in Disney World, but it reminds me so much of the smell of the Polynesian Resort. If you're a Disney World person, you might know what I'm talking about. The deluxe resorts are kind of famous for having like really fragrant lobbies. It's a weird thing to say, but yeah, that's it. That's the truth. So it reminds me of that, even more so when it's on my skin and it's kind of like warmed with my skin and that kind of thing. I can really smell it. Unfortunately, the Molten Brown perfumes and eau de toilettes are very expensive. They're over €100. Not really in the budget for like just having a perfume right now, considering like your standard designer ones are like €80 or something like that. You know, you definitely are saving a bit of money with those, but I suppose the benefit being these are really, really high quality, and Molten Brown is a cruelty-free brand, so you know, you win some, you lose some. Really like this, and if I have the budget at any point in my life, I will definitely buy this full size, because like I said, it's a beautiful scent association, and even without that, it just smells fab anyway. So speaking of Molten Brown, I treated myself to their advent calendar. Christmas just gone, so yeah, like I mean, every year I look at these beauty advent calendars and I think some of them look great, and I just never buy one. I always talk myself out of it because it just feels a bit too extravagant. A lot of them are quite expensive, The molten brown one obviously wasn't cheap. It was like 200 or 250, I think. But the value of the items altogether would have been over 300, so it definitely felt like a saving. And like I said, I love molten brown, so I use a lot of their products. So it kind of was a girl math investment, I guess. So I treated myself, and I was very happy I did, because I was so happy to open it every day and find a new little surprise. I've already gone through 2 of the products. So I've got a Recharge Black Pepper Shower Gel, and I've got one of their little Christmas baubles of the shower gel as well. That is in the Marvelous Mandarin and Spice. So again, spiced orange, love it. I actually have the hand soap of I'm gonna go get it because you're gonna want to see it. It's beautiful. I'm back. So before I actually bought the advent calendar, I bought the hand soap because I like to have a Christmas hand soap from Molten Brown because they do such lovely ones. It's like a little tradition my mom and I started a few years ago. So it's something I do. But this is new this year. It's their Mandarin and Spice, and it's kind of glittery. It's mostly used up now, so it is a bit harder to see. There you go. So it's got this gorgeous glitter in it, which normally would concern me, but for Molten Brown, like, it's good quality, so I'm not concerned about there being glitter in it. It smells absolutely fabulous. It's such a great blend of those 2 scents. The clove is definitely there. The clove is a lovely warming undertone, and then it's nice and orange forward, so fresh. Beautiful. Love it. And I also love the baubles because they look really nice on your tree because they're molten brown, so the packaging is beautiful. The product inside looks beautiful, looks good quality. They're great to just throw on your tree until you take down your tree, and then you get to use it. And then the Recharge Black Pepper is obviously just one of their standard ones. It's one of the more like masculine scents. Thankfully, Molten Brown isn't too kind of into like branding their scents to be feminine or masculine, which is great because that's a bone of contention with me. I don't care for that at all. This would usually be kind of more of the masculine style. It's that sort of spicy and earthy kind of scent, but I love that. I think that's gorgeous. And their shower gels are fantastic quality. You don't need an awful lot. They work up a lovely lather and can spread very easily. They're absolutely not drying at all. They're very luxurious and just have this fabulous feel to them. So I have loads of them from my advent calendar, and then also because people have gotten wind of my obsession with Molten Brown, I now have multiple gifts from Christmas as well. So I'm not going to need to buy body wash for the longest time. I am set. Okay, I've used up like the entire battery on my camera. It's almost gone. And I'm swinging around on a squeaky chair, so I'm gonna have to listen to that while I edit, and you're gonna have to listen to it while you watch. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting, and I'm on a spinny chair, and I can't not spin on a spinny chair. Why am I so hyper? Because I'm actually a little bit concerned. I'm gonna crash. I'm actually gonna crash at like 4 o'clock today, and I have to go out this evening. Anyway. That's me done. That's all of my empties from the last 6 months, and now I can go fill up my green bin with all of these things, except these are compostable. Actually, I forgot to mention, the packaging to the wild refills are compostable, so extra points for that as well because it's just great. I love when things are compostable. I don't know why, it just feels even more eco-friendly than recyclable. Maybe there's some sort of basis in that, maybe there isn't, I don't know. Why am I rambling? Well, thanks for hanging out with me today and looking at all of my recycling. I hope you saw some things you might like. Let me know in the comments if there's anything you use out of these or anything that's now on your wish list. And I will see you in my next video. I am also very open to suggestions, so if you want to leave me any suggestions that you think might work, pop them down below. Even just leave me a comment to say hi. I will absolutely love to hear that. And you're great, and thank you for watching, and thumbs up the video, it helps. Subscribe if you're new, that helps too. Gotta do the life admin. Those things actually do help the channel. It shows that you're engaged. Leaving comments is very helpful. Share the video with your friends, share the channel with your friends. Let's all have a fantastic, happy January, and the end. And tumble out of bed, stumble to the kitchen, and pour yourself a cup of ambition. Is this a fun thumbnail? Like, this is the thumbnail? Probably, yeah. Ah! I'm kind of giddy. Yeah, definitely a bit hyper. Which is weird. I'm not usually this like hyper and out there when I film. Normally it takes a while to kind of warm up into it. So maybe this is like a new year, new me thing. A primer and refresh set. Blah, 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 blah. I feel like I'm being really chaotic. I'm getting really like leaning in here. Let's get comfy and chat. Do you know what it's giving like Grace and Frankie vibes, which I'm not mad about. I'm really not mad about, because I love Grace and Frankie and I want to be an equal combination of the two of them when I'm old. Why do I always ramble when I get to an outro instead of just actually saying thanks for watching, goodbye?